Sam, do you have anything to say for the viewers of Flosstube? Anything you wanted to share? Anything on your mind today? You good? It's like it's time for a nap, Mummy. Hi Flosstube! Thanks for stopping by my channel. My name is Shiloh and I'm a cross-stitcher, knitter, and crocheter living in Nova Scotia, Canada. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Xstitchmd, and I'll have my social media linked below, as well as a link to a Google Doc with descriptions about all the projects I'm going to share about today. It's been a few months since my last video because summer has been busy. We've been doing a lot of outdoorsy things the past few months, and so my weekends have been outside and there's not been time for filming. But I figured it was about time to do a little recap of all the things I've been working on the past couple of months. We have a lot of fun stuff coming up in the next few months in terms of traveling, so I figured I might as well record a video while I can. So since I last recorded, we went out to Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho for my brother's wedding. Never been out that way before. It was beautiful. Definitely a pain to get to from Nova Scotia. It's like 3 flights each way, but absolutely beautiful there. So I'll put in some pictures here from the wedding. We had a really great time. Despite the weather being a little bit cold, it was still beautiful and really nice to just get to see a state I've never been to before. So congrats to my brother and his new wife. It was so much fun to be out there. Right around the same time, my sister had her second baby, so she did not come to the wedding because she was overdue. So she had her second baby, another little boy, and I'm actually flying out there next weekend to go see the new baby, who's now 2 months old. So slight delayed, but really excited to go out there, see my family, be down there for Labor Day weekend. So like I said, the past couple of months, we've been spending a lot of time outside. Sam is finally at an age where he is well-trained, can do all the things off leash, and I've been spending a lot of time at my in-laws' place because they live on a lake and Sam loves the water. So I don't think German Shepherds are necessarily known for being water dogs, but Sam loves the water, loves swimming, loves paddleboarding. So we've had a lot of fun doing that. We're actually heading out there later today, so I've got to squeeze in this video before we head out. So yeah, it's been a really good summer so far. It's been a bit of a strange summer for me project-wise because I've pretty much been exclusively working on one project, which who am I even? But I've really been enjoying just focusing on one project, not having to think about things, but I have been working on a bunch of other knitting projects, so I'll definitely show those. And there are a couple of projects I did work on before I got in my monogamous only work on a full coverage piece mode. That being said, as I was going through my projects to get ready for this video, a lot of them are calling to me, so I might have to break my monogamous streak. I also have a whole bunch of stash that I've acquired over the past 2 months because even if you're not working on more than one project, you still have to buy all the things, right? So I will dive right in and show you all of that. Let's start off with the lone finish that I have because I was just mentioning my sister had her second baby boy and I knit him up a blanket. So here it is. This is technically the habitation habitation throw pattern by Curious Handmade. I changed it in that I did not include any of the eyelet rows. So it's just basically a big garter stitch square, but I followed the increased patterns in the I-cord edging that the habitation throw has. Super easy pattern, super easy to use for any weight of yarn you have. So this is a worsted weight. It's Karen Cakes. I'll put information about the name of the color because I can't remember it. I just got this at Michael's. So 2 balls of yarn made a pretty good size baby blanket. So I'm really excited to gift that to her when I go there next weekend. This is like an acrylic yarn, so it's machine washable and dryable, which is perfect for a new baby. I do have to weave in my ends still, but it was really simple, really easy, really fun to work. I basically just increased until I reached the end of one ball and then started decreasing. So I cast on here, kept going until here, and then started decreasing. So it makes a giant square. So yeah, really happy with how this turned out. This yarn's really nice. It's really soft. It was really fun to knit, and I'm excited to give this to my new nephew. I knit this on 5.5 millimeter US 9 needles using the Karen Cakes yarn. And like I said, I used 2 balls and it made a perfect baby blanket size. I have a couple of friends who are pregnant, so I think I'm gonna have to get some more of this yarn to make some more baby blankets, because it's just a nice, cozy, squishy, easy project to work on when you're watching TV or anything like that. So definitely recommend. So that's my only finish, but let's show you the stitching things I've been working on. So we'll start off with some of the projects that I worked on before I got absolutely fixated on my full coverage piece. So one of them was Xstitchmd, I hope I'm saying that right, by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I got this chart at the 2023 Jacob Palooza retreat, and I got Jacob to sign it, which every time I see that is so exciting. So I did put in some work on this over the past couple months. I haven't worked on this in probably a month now, but I was working on it quite consistently in July. So here is where I got to. So lots of alphabets. I am starting to get into some of the motifs here, which is really fun. These Frisian letters with all the backstitching are stunning, and they take so long. So that's kind of where I get stuck a little bit. Some of the white letters here, some of the white letters here are ghosting a little bit, but they're actually much more visible in person. You can see them quite well. I'm stitching this with the called for Roxy Floss Co Floss on 46 count Roxy Speculoos linen, and I'm just loving it. So you can tell I have a long way to go because I'm like here, but this is a really fun project. Oh, the other thing I should mention is I have been adapting it as I've gone along. So right here, I put in October 2023. So it had some other kind of initials and year there. So that is the time I started this project. So I figured as I go, I'm just going to be like adapting, throwing in different initials, different things that are meaningful. See if there's anything else I changed here. Oh, and then right here as well. See the best way to show this. I'll just fold it here. Right here, SG, those are my initials. So I changed that because before it had a TK. So I just changed that to my initials. So I think I'm going to do that throughout the project, is just putting in important dates, initials, all of that. It's funny. So my husband, his name's Spencer. My dog's name is Sam. So, and we all have the same last name, obviously. So all of us have the same initials. So I think there's going to be a lot of SGs in this piece. But yeah, that's been fun to kind of adapt it as I go along and make it a bit more personalized, because I'm sure Chirchi and Girchi were lovely people, but I didn't know them, so I want my own stuff on the pattern. So yeah, so I'm right about there now, so I'm excited to get into some more of those motifs, so I will pick this up again. Like I said, 46 count Speculoos linen, and I'm using 1 strand of floss, and I think it's giving really, really nice coverage. So that's my Chirchi and Girchi, or T and G, a little bit easier to say. Okay, the other 2 pieces I worked on before my fixation began were Birds and Butterflies by the Artsy Housewife. And I don't know if any of you are signed up for the Artsy Housewife's Patreon, but you definitely should, because every month she has just the absolute best charts that come out. So definitely recommend you check that out. I have been a member since it started, and it's amazing. Highly recommend. And I basically every month have a bunch of new patterns I want to start. So this is Birds and Butterflies. And I worked on this when we were away in Idaho. I brought this along and got some good progress on the border. This border is so beautiful. The border is really what drew me to this piece. So I'm stitching this on 18 count Catnap Ada by Roxy Floss. I'm using a Roxy Floss Co conversion that myself and Lauren, New Hampshire Stitcher, came up with. And I'm using 1 strand of floss on 18 count. And I usually would use 2 strands, but I tried 1 strand and I'm actually really liking it. So cute. I need to get this back out too. But I'm really happy with how this is coming along. Okay, and the other one I worked on, this was also an Idaho travel project I brought with, is the Skipjack Sampler by Ardith Design. And this was a project that I started along with my friends Lauren, Elizabeth, and Liz at the Stitch North retreat. And I am officially past the halfway point, which is very exciting. I'm trying to hold this so that you can see it properly. There we go. So this fabric is just so pretty. I love it so much. It is a 32 count Lugana hand dyed by Rolanda. The colorway is Lilac Amour. And this is also being stitched in a Roxy Floss Co conversion. And I'm using 2 strands of floss over 2. And I think it just looks amazing. I love the little, how it says oysters in the boat there. So yeah, this is the line down the middle of the pole of the ship is the halfway point. So I am more than halfway, which is very exciting. And need to work on this some more again too. Okay, let's go to what has been occupying all my time over the past at least month. So I started this project in May 2024 and I'm almost at the halfway point. So that shows you how much I have been just absolutely focused on it. So this is Delightful Waltz by Ardith Design. If you go on their website, you'll see they have a couple of different versions of it. I'm just doing the regular. There's a large and there's a mini. I'm just doing the regular size. It works out to be about 72,000 stitches, I think. So here it is. Hopefully you can try to hold up so you can see it. I wonder if you can see it. Oh, you can see it fine if I don't have anything behind it. So look at that. I'm so, so, so happy with it. So I made a ton of progress since you last saw this. And I just, oh, I can't stop working on it. It's just so pretty. Let me bring it up so you can see it. Like, look at all those colors. It's so pretty. It's so fun to work on. I'm really enjoying working on her dress here. I'm kind of going down the left-hand side and it's just so fun. I'm using the called for DMC, 1 strand over 1 on 20 count Roxy Floss Co. porcelain Aida. This Aida is so nice. It's really soft. It's so great for full coverage because it kind of holds its shape. My last full coverage piece, I was using this like cheapy Aida from Michaels, which was cheap, but so stiff, so uncomfortable to work on. And this Aida is just an absolute dream. So highly recommend. And yeah, I can't stop working on this. So I am absolutely loving it. As per markup RXP, which is what I'm using to track my progress in this, this is saying if I continue on my current pace, I should finish it in October, which would be amazing. I don't know that that's going to happen. I mentioned we're traveling this summer. Well, I guess technically not this summer. So in September, we're going away for 2.5 weeks to Italy, Spain, and France, which is going to be amazing. We're doing a cruise and then we'll be staying in Italy for a week afterwards. I'm so excited. So I don't think I'll bring this. Well, maybe I'll bring this. I can't remember. I don't know. I might bring this. I'm not sure yet. So we'll see. But it would be amazing to finish it this year. Yeah, it's so pretty. It's just so stunning and I love it so much. So that is my Delightful Waltz. I also want to be working on some of my other full coverage pieces because I had started a couple of others, but I have decided that for me, it works best to just have 1 full coverage piece going at a time. I know in my last video I was asking for like different suggestions on like how you manage your floss and threads and stuff, and so many amazing suggestions. And then I decided I think I'm just gonna do 1 at a time. That way I feel like I'll be more motivated to work on it. It's easier to keep it all together. And I've made so much progress this way. So that's been really exciting. that's all my stitchy progress. So let me show you some stitchy haul before we get into knitting. This first piece of haul, I'm sure a lot of you have seen because it's been all over social media, and that is the Crossstitch in the Forest book by Max Pigeon. So when Max had first posted about this, I had pre-ordered it on Amazon, and then he reached out to ask me if I would like a copy sent to me. So I have two. So I would love to give away a copy of this book. It has so many awesome patterns. I'll show you one of my favorites here, if I can just find it. I love the style of patterns, the way that he designs them. It reminds me a lot of my piece that I finished, the Northern Lights piece by Stitchrovia. I'll put a picture of it in here. Some of these designs remind me of that kind of vibe, which I absolutely love. So there's just so many beautiful, beautiful pieces. I love this one right here. So pretty. So yeah, I have two copies of this now. So I would love to give away a copy of this. So if you would like to win a copy of this book, I'll mail it anywhere in the world. Just leave me a comment with the word forest in your comment. I'm sure a lot of you already have this book though, so no worries, but I would love to give away a second copy because I think everyone should have a copy of this book. It's fantastic. Max is also a Canadian designer, so let's support Canadian designers. Oh yeah, like look at all these. They're so pretty. Which is so pretty. The book is also really nice. The charts are really large, which is great. I'll just show like a little, they're all in color, really large symbols. So yeah, it's awesome. You can also get a PDF version of it as well, like an ebook, if you'd rather kind of load it into your, whatever you use to track your stitches. I think I'm probably going to end up scanning whatever pattern I decide to start first. I'm going to end up scanning it and bringing it into markup because I love doing it that way. So yes, that's the first bit of haul. So this next piece of haul was completely enabled by Carmen of Cardamom and Pins. She was working on this piece, GH 1857 by SewID. I hope I'm saying that right. So I had to get it. So this is a gorgeous sampler with a lot of extra smalls included. So I had to get the chart. It's like a full like booklet chart. It also comes with like a thread bed in it, or sorry, like a thread keeper. It's absolutely beautiful. Let me see if I can show some pictures of some of the other smalls. So pretty. So I'm definitely going to stitch the big sampler. I'm excited to start that soon. Look at this cute house of the pin cushion. It's so pretty. So I had to get that chart. I also got all the floss for it. So it calls for Weeks Dye Works and then one Soie d'Alger silk. So I got all of those. So really excited to start this sometime soon. This is a big one, but I had to get it and it's so pretty. So thanks a lot, Carmen, for enabling me. The other chart I got recently was the new one from Brenda Gervais. So this is the Coleus and the Pear. I hope I'm saying that right. Love the colors in this. It's so pretty. So I got this from Traditional Stitches. They're an online needlework store based out of Alberta, and they carry all of Brenda Gervais charts, which is great. So love that. I also got some fabric. So I bought a bunch of fabric from 123 Stitch. I don't have complete ideas of what I'm going to use for it except the first one. I recently got my Fish and Ships framed by Long Dog Samplers, and I'll put in a little video clip of it here because I am so happy with how it turned out. Here is my framed Fish and Ships in all its glory. It's on our upstairs hallway wall in between the two bedrooms, and I'm so happy with how it looks. I love this frame. It has the little beads on it, which I think look just like the little bubbles in the border. It turned out so good, and I love it. So now that that's up on my wall, I've been thinking about what other Long Dog pieces I might want to stitch. And I came across this gorgeous fabric on 123 Stitch. So this is Picture This Plus Mystic. So I got a fat quarter of this. It is such a beautiful deep blue, and I totally want to stitch something on this, a Long Dog monochrome piece, either in like a really pale blue or white, which I think will be so pretty. Yeah, so that's 32 count Mystic by Picture This Plus. Right now, the piece I'm thinking I'm going to do is called Before I Sleep. That's kind of the top of my list right now, but that could change. I have to take a good look at the Long Dog website, but I'm thinking that would look so pretty on this. I'm kind of leaning to do like a really pale blue, like maybe like DMC 775, because I think that would just be stunning on this. So we'll see. Watch this space. I also got super lucky and snagged a bunch of Lakeside Linen. So 123 Stitch, every once in a while, there's a little restock of Lakeside Linen, and I always try to snag it as soon as I see it on there. So I got some 32 count Vintage Exemplar, which is a very pretty color. That's a fat 1/8. I also got an 1/8 of 40 count Tarnished Silver. So pretty. An 1/8 of 40 count Winter Sky, which is this really pretty purpley blue. I don't know if you're able to see. It's kind of like a darker version of the Tarnished Silver. That's showing pretty true there. So pretty. And then I also got a 1/8 of 40 count Morning Dove, which is like a really pale gray. I don't know if you can really tell there, but super pretty. So I'm excited to use some of these. I've been wanting to use some more 40 count because I've been loving the 20 count Ada. I don't know why before I was like, oh, 40 count linen one strand looks too thin, but I don't know. I think my eyes have adapted or something happened and now I like it. So we're going with that. All right, the last little bit of haul I got was from Everto. So I put in an order the other week and it came, and I'm so excited with all the stuff I got. So the first is the fabric and floss for this piece of Modern Folk Embroidery, which is called the Lynette Song. But there is a piece on the back of the chart, which is kind of a modified version of it. I love this. So I got the beautiful dark black linen. So this is 36 count Night Owl, which is basically like a super, super dark navy. It is so pretty. And then I got the floss. So this is in a pack with some other floss, which I'll talk about in a second. But this color here, which is Sand Dollar, and then this one, which is, sorry for the crinkling, Pacific. So this blue and tan on this black. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. This floss here is for the Sampler September project. So I'm really excited to start that in September. It was designed by Ellen from Maximum Crossstitch, and I had to get the matching project bag because it is basically the chart in bag form. So pretty. Really excited to start that. I stitched the Sampler September project last year and had such a good time doing it. So I'm excited to do that again this year. And then the other thing I got was, have you seen the new Modern Folk Embroidery piece that will be the 2025 Stitch Along? It is so beautiful. It's called Balaquin. I think that's how you say it. It's birds or birdies. It's stunning. So I got some absolutely beautiful floss. Let me just get this all together. So this is the Floss Tuesday, which is this beautiful variegated dark red burgundy. And then I got some 40 count porcelain linen, both from Roxy Floss. So I'm really excited to start that in January. Have I started the 2024 Stitch Along? No, but I have all the supplies for it nicely tucked away. One day. But yeah, I think this will look really good together and I'm excited to start that. Okay, that was my stitchy haul. Let's talk about knitting. I've been all about the knitting lately. It is something that is just so easy to pick up after a long day at work and just put in a couple of rows, especially on days I'm not feeling like pulling out a full coverage piece and working on it. So I have been working on a bunch of different knitting projects, which has been a lot of fun. So this one here was when I started a while ago. I really should be finished it by now, but the rows are getting so long. So this is my Pressed Flowers shawl by Amy Christophers. And it is so pretty. I love it so much. Like, look at this hot pink and this black combination. It's so good. So this yarn is from Full Moon Fibers. And so I have this maybe it's a worsted weight. It's a boucle yarn. So it's like really fuzzy and puffy. So pretty. And then I have this is also, I gotta check if this is DK or worsted, but non-superwash in Black Hole. So this combo together, I think, is just so pretty. And I'm really, really happy with how this is turning out. So I'm getting close. I'm on the last bit, the border where the flowers are a lot more close together. So I only probably have like 20 more rows or so to go until it's finished. But as you can tell, it is absolutely massive. I am knitting this with a US 8 5.0 millimeter needle. I'm using my bamboo needles for it, mainly because I needed one with a long enough cord. So yeah, that's the pressed flower shawl. It is so pretty and I can't wait to have it done. All right, this next project was completely enabled by Liz from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. So she recently cast on the Lakes striped t-shirt by Ozetta, and when I saw it, I was like, I need to make that. I have never really been much of a garment knitter because I hate knitting swatches. Why? I don't know. I need to just get over that mental block. But when Liz mentioned that the shoulder saddles are actually your swatches, I was like, well, I can do that. So I dug in my stash and I found these two beautiful yarns. So this first one is by Things Created Equal, and the colorway is Cinder Rose. It's a 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And then the other one is Woolberry Fiber Co. in the colorway Rustic. They're berry merino, 100% superwash yarn. And I have cast on my shoulder saddle. So this is like very small and pathetic, but I loved that combo together, the stripes. I think it's going to be so pretty. I knit up one and it was a bit too big, so I went down a needle size. I'm now using a US 3.25 millimeter. I think this is going to be better. I do have to finish the whole thing and wash and block it, which I'm actually going to do, but I think this is going to be super cute and I really love this color combination. So those are my two yarns together, which I think is going to look really good. The other project I recently started that I've been loving working on is the Ice Fire Wrap by Knit Picks. I'm actually in the middle of a row here, so apologies that it's kind of all bunched up. This is so fun. So you basically have two different yarns that are color changing. So this color is called Sedona, this color is Seahorse, and this is their Chroma Worsted. Unfortunately, these two colors are discontinued, but they do have a lot of other color options. And basically every 2 rows, you're switching colors. So you start with one and switch. So the colors are shifting throughout and you're doing these little short row leaves, I guess. I don't know. It's so cute. I'm really, really enjoying this. It's a super fun and easy project and I love how this is looking. I'm using a, what is this? I think it's a US 9 5.5 millimeter with worsted weight, which I think is what the pattern calls for. And I'm really happy with how it's coming out. I'll hold it up here so you can see this is like the full width of the shawl. I have 4 balls of each of these, so it should be a nice long scarf. And it's really fun to see the different color changes as they come. So it's kind of like a gradual shift and it's so pretty. So really loving working on this. The next knitting project I've been working on, because yes, I've been working on a lot of knitting. This was a new cast on that I'm loving. So this is the Kaleidoscope Blanket by Tin Can Knits. And it's a really fun scrappy project that I am loving. And oh gosh, I'm also in the middle of a row here. I need to not put it down in the middle of a row. This is going to look like a mess because you leave your ends all loose to create a fringe and they're all tangled. But I'll show you just part of it here. So it's a really fun striped blanket where you drop the color every 2 rows, which creates the fringe. It'll look a lot better once it's blocked and everything opens up. But I am loving this. So I basically am using all of my leftovers, whether that's DK, fingering, worsted, and I'm just alternating them. So if it's fingering weight, I'm holding it double. If it's DK or worsted, I'm holding it single. And I'm really, really loving this. So, I mean, it's all tangled and bunched up, but it's going to be so, so good. And it's been really motivating me to work on some of my other projects so that I can finish them so I can put the leftovers in these. So yeah, this has been really, really fun to work on. I have it in this cute project bag and I just have a bunch of leftovers in here and I'm adding as I go. The one thing I'm making sure of is all my leftovers are superwash, because that way I can wash and dry this blanket. So I'm making sure that anything I add in here is going to be the same kind of care instructions, but they're going to be different combinations of whether it's like 100% merino or has nylon or anything like that. But yeah, this has been a really fun project. Highly recommend. It's quite easy. It's a really easy repeat, and I love those chevrons. Okay, and this one last knitting project I'll show you. This is my more intense concentration project. So this is what I'm working on when I'm actually feeling like I have a lot of mental energy and space. And surprise, surprise, it's also in the middle of a row. I did not realize I do that so often. So this pattern is called Nix by Natasha Hornsby. I love her designs. I have a lot of them either started, finished, or in progress. And I just love the way that she puts together colors and patterns and texture. So the colors I'm using, I went completely different with my color choices, and this was based on a project I saw on Ravelry, and I loved the color choices, so I copied them. So I'm using a Knit Picks palette for all of my 3 colors. So I'm using the color Currant, the color Pimento, and the color Brass Heather. So those are my 3 colors, which I love together. And here's where I'm at. So this is a really fun project. It has some like new to me stitches I haven't done before. So there's a bunch of Fisherman's Rib here, which I've never done before. And then we're getting into these little color work segments, which are so pretty. So I am loving this so far. Let me just, oh, it's probably gonna be too hard to slip all these. So I'll just hold this up so far. So I'm not very far along this, but it is so pretty. I'm loving this dark red, the Currant color, and those little pops of the Brass Heather is just so, so stunning. So this has been really fun to work on. It is a lot more labor intensive because there's a lot of purling in it, which takes me a lot longer than knitting, but I'm really enjoying how this is coming together, and it is a really satisfying project. So those are all my knitting whips. I'm sure I have some others somewhere else because I've just been randomly pulling out whatever knitting project strikes my fancy, but that's the main ones. I do have a little bit of yarn haul, so let me show you that next. So I am a member of the Woolberry Fiber Club Fiber Collective. So I got my monthly skeins. So I got 1 skein of the Grapefruit Fizz and 1 skein of Homegrown Bouquet. And these are both so pretty. I have been, well, I did it the first month. I have a Sweet Shop blanket started that I'm using these for. Every month there's 2 colors that come out. You get 1 skein for free as part of your, well, as part of your paid membership, and then you can buy the other skein if you want it as well, or as many skeins as you want. So I'm buying each colors I'm buying both colors each month and using them in my Sweet Shop blanket. But I stopped after month 1, so I do need to catch up on that. But these are so pretty. I love the speckles in this. So I think that's going to be a really nice color combination. The other yarn I got, so this is part of it. So I got this kit from Lichen & Lace. I'm missing a couple of skeins because I caked them up. So this is their Rustic Heather Sport yarn. And this kit is for the Clint shawl by Natasha Hornsby, who I just mentioned and love. So these colors together are just stunning. I cast on this shawl and then I realized something. I'm left-handed and I knit backwards than right-handed knitters in terms of I'm knitting from left to right, not right to left. And for a pattern like the Clint shawl, where it's all these little triangles going together, it's not working. My triangles are all backwards and it's not looking like the pattern. And I was just wondering if anyone else out there has knit this pattern and might be left-handed and knows how I need to flip and reverse the instructions in order to make it look like the actual pattern. I'm usually pretty good at knowing how to do this, but this one is just such a complicated middle section with all these little triangles that my brain cannot wrap my head around how I need to like adjust and flip things. For example, the Sweet Shop blanket, I had to mirror the instructions, but it was just 2 types of triangles. So that was easy to do. I got that. But for this one with all the triangles in it, my brain's having a hard time figuring it out. So any help would be much appreciated. But yeah, I love these colors and I really want to knit the shawl. I just have to figure it out. Okay, and then the last little bit of haul I got was from a new to me yarn dyer, but has been around for a while, and she's actually in my neck of the woods in Nova Scotia, and that's Cozy Posy Yarn Company. So I got some yarn from her. She had a Taylor Swift pre-order a little while ago where I got the yarn for my melt shawl, which is almost done. I need to finish that. I'm not showing it till it's done. But she had some leftovers that she recently was selling, so I snagged some of them. So this is Love Story, which is this really pretty yellowy, pinky color. So I got 3 skeins of this in her Swoon DK base, which is merino cashmere nylon. And I'm planning on knitting the Cowboys and Angels shawl by Isabel Kramer with this. So really excited to cast this on sometime soon. Also from Cozy Posy Yarn Company, I got 3 skeins of her Lush Lino base DK in the colorway Bramble. And this is going to be eventually this beautiful shawl by Barocco. So I'm going to cast that on at some point. I basically need to free up some needles so that I can cast on more. Or I could just put more needles. But yeah, this is a really pretty silk linen blend. I've never knit with silk linen before, so I'm really excited to knit that up and see how it goes. So that's my yarn haul. I think that's all I have for you today. Like I said, really exciting about some stuff coming up next month. We're going away for a couple of weeks to Europe. In October, I'm going to the Stitch North Fall Retreat in Brampton, Ontario. Really excited for that. Hope to see some of you there. And then in November, we're going to Toronto to see Taylor Swift, and I am so excited. So excited. So that is going to be amazing. So lots of fun things coming up in the next few months, but in the middle of all of it, I'll still be doing my crafts in the background. So thanks so much for joining me today. Happy stitching, knitting, crocheting, all the things, and I'll see you next time. Bye.